everything was on the line during the 2001 World Series. Just 4 years after their inception, the Arizona Diamondbacks went all in, spending heavily to acquire some of the biggest names in the sport. But with several key players getting older, this was likely going to be their final chance at winning it all. And if they did, they would kill a dynasty. The New York Yankees were on the brink of their 4th World Series title and 5th in 6 years. In doing so, they'd cement themselves as one of the greatest dynasties in MLB history. But with the roster set to undergo major changes in the coming years, this felt like the final chapter for this core group. The stakes could not have been higher. It was all or nothing. Some might have said that winning was getting old for the Yankees, but this year they had an extra chip on their shoulder. Following the September 11th attacks on the Twin Towers, baseball helped unite the state. When play resumed, players wore special hats to honor New York's first responders, invited some as special guests during games, and sang "God Bless America" with great enthusiasm during the 7th inning stretch. Then, as they bypassed the Oakland Athletics and the 116-win Seattle Mariners, excitement only grew around the city, hoping to bring the state together with yet another championship parade. And many around the sport believed this would be the outcome, some going as far to say that the Diamondbacks had zero chance to win. Could you blame them though? The Yankees had won the championship 4 times in the previous 5 years. The Diamondbacks weren't even around at that time. This lack of experience showed throughout their roster, with Craig Counsell being the only notable player who had previously played in the Fall Classic, while the Yankees fielded players such as Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Mariano Rivera, all of whom brought immense World Series pedigree. But early on, it became clear that the past success of the Yankees meant nothing in this series.
You won't miss the opportunity as Counsell gets into one to right. NLCS MVP, and he ties it here in the first inning of Game 1 down in Tampa. Here they are in the World Series. 1-2 pitch, and deep to right. Diamondbacks take the lead. Well hit into right center field. Off the base of the wall, Finley scores. Williams scores. It's 9-1.
Things started slow, with the Yankees actually taking a 1-0 lead thanks to a Bernie Williams double in the first inning. But that was all they would get. The Snakes would go on to knot up the score in the bottom half of the frame before unleashing back-to-back 4-run innings to extend their lead to a comfortable 9-1. It was complete domination by the underdogs, with many now believing they had the ability to dethrone the seemingly unbeatable Yankees. And the following night, this thought only became amplified. Randy Johnson took the ball in Game 2 and overwhelmed the Yankees' bats, only allowing 1 base runner to reach scoring position through 9 dominant shutout innings.
And a ground liner right at Counsell, and Randy Johnson twirls a complete Game 3-hit shutout.
For the Diamondbacks, this was exactly what needed to happen. I know, a cliche thing to say for any team going up 2-0 in a series, but it holds extra merit in this situation. You see, all year long, they lacked depth in their rotation. Of course, Schilling and Johnson were the best duo in the game, with the team winning 74.2% of their starts. But when they weren't pitching, their winning percentage actually dropped below 50 at 43.5. So with neither of them on the mound, this was the Yankees' chance to get back into it as the series shifted to New York. It had been almost 50 days since the attacks and New York was still reeling. Anti-anxiety medication soared, people lived their everyday lives with fear, and workers were scared to work, especially when Attorney General John Ashcroft had this to say.
There may be additional terrorist attacks within the United States and against United States interests.
To be safe, New York was roaming with law enforcement, especially as Game 3 approached, and 50,000 baseball fans swarmed towards Yankee Stadium. Even though they were in attendance for a baseball game, the thoughts of the attack were still fresh on people's mind, heightened by the fact that they were packed together inside a stadium. But this thought quickly vanished when President Bush emerged from the dugout to throw the first pitch. His presence that night offered more than just a sense of safety. It was a defiant message to the world that fear wouldn't win and that the American spirit was unshaken. So now, with a sense of security felt throughout the stadium, it was time for a ball game.
Swung on and hit the deep left field. That ball is high. Middle's far. It is gone. Oh. Swung on line drive to left field. Coming on. Hey, Spencer. Oh, what a play by Shane Spencer. Saving a ride. 2 men out. Rivera deals. Hit on the ground up the middle. Jeter fields. Throws to first. In time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
This win was crucial to get back in the series and avoid falling to a 3-0 deficit. Their work would still be cut out for them though, as Schilling took the mound on 3 days rest and pitched terrifically. However, on the other side, Orlando Hernandez, otherwise known as El Duque, went toe-to-toe with him, with the score tied at 1 at the end of the 7th inning. But this time, Mariano Rivera did not enter from the bullpen, and the Diamondbacks pounced on this opportunity.
12 home runs overall, and he gets into one to center. Williams back, on the run, can't get it. Gonzalez around third. Gonzalez to the plate. Poor throw by Soriano. The 1-2 to Williams, to short. Jeter, one to play, and safe as Posada dropped it. It's 3-1 Arizona.
Entering the bottom of the 9th inning with the score now 3-1 in the Diamondbacks' favor, it was starting to look bleak for the Yankees. But on the biggest stage in the world, with 50,000 of their fans cheering them on, they weren't ready to surrender just yet.
O'Neill breaks his back, floats one to left, it's a base hit.
There's Tino. 1 on, 2 out. Pitch is swung on and drilled to deep right center. It is high. It is far. It is gone. The Bam Tino with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. And the Yankees, on the precipice of defeat, tie the game at 3.
With 1 out left to play, it was looking likely that the Yankees would go down 3-1. However, Tino Martinez stepped up to the plate and in heroic fashion forced extras with his game-tying 2-run homer. It wasn't a game winner, but with all the momentum shifted on their side, it was clear that the Yankees weren't going to lose this game.
3-2 pitch. Swung on a drill to right field. Going back Sanders on the track at the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! A home run by Derek Jeter. Oh, what a big hit! And the entire Yankee team mobs him at home plate.
With the Yankee Stadium still roaring from the walk-off win, the tide of the series had clearly shifted. What was once a 2-0 deficit was now a comeback in motion, but in order to keep it going, Mike Mussina would have to pitch far better than he did in Game 1, where he lasted only 3 innings while giving up 5 runs. If there was anyone to bounce back though, it would be him, and in Game 5 he brought out some of his best work. All night long, he showed why the Yankees invested $88.5 million on him, going 8 innings while surrendering just 2 runs. Surprisingly though, he wasn't the best pitcher on the night. That title went to Miguel Bautista. The 30-year-old journeyman playing on his 6th team in 7 years turned in the start of his life, allowing nobody to cross home plate through 7 2/3 innings, giving the Diamondbacks the opportunity to take a narrow 2-0 lead into the 9th inning, which meant for the 2nd straight game, the Yankees had their backs against the wall. The man they would be up against was Byung-Hun Kim, who had blown it the night before. That's why everyone was surprised to see him come out in another save situation. It seemed like they were begging to get punished.
1-0. Swung on and hit in the air to deep left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. I don't believe it. Once again, deja vu. A 2-out, game-tying 2-run home run by Scott Brosius.
The look on Kim's face said it all. How on earth did the Yankees, down to their final out on back-to-back days, hit game-tying home runs? Once again, this siphoned the momentum to the Yankees' side. There was no way they would let an unforgettable moment like this go to waste.
2-1 delivery. Soriano has got a base hit to right field. Sanders, they're waving him home. Here comes round 1. Here's the throw to the plate. The Yankees win it. They did it again. Unbelievable.
The Yankees had been dominated during 4 of the 5 games, yet were just 1 win away from being crowned champions for the 4th straight year. Getting the last victory wouldn't be easy though, especially as the series shifted back to Arizona for the final 2. In front of their home fans, the Diamondbacks went on an offensive rampage, scoring 1 in the first, then 3 in the second, before unleashing an 8-run 4th inning to already put the game out of reach before it was halfway over. So with the series tied at 3 wins each, it was all going to come down to the winner-take-all Game 7. The Diamondbacks sent Curt Schilling on the mound, his 3rd start of the series and his 2nd straight on just 3 days rest. For the Yankees, Roger Clemens got the ball. At 39, he was the oldest pitcher to ever start a Game 7 of the World Series.
No balls, 2 strikes on Miller.
Pitch after pitch, inning after inning, these two shut down any chance for offense, with the score tied at 0 through 5 innings. By now, it became abundantly clear that this game would be won with just a few runs. And finally, in the 6th, Arizona made the breakthrough.
Into left center field. That ball is going to get down. That ball is going to put Arizona on top. Danny Batista delivers again. Going for 3rd. Out, but it's 1-0 Arizona.
It could have been worse for the Yankees, but thanks to Derek Jeter's incredible relay from the outfield grass, the Diamondbacks only took a 1-run lead. Still, this put pressure on the Yankees for the first time all game, but as they had done earlier in the series, their bats seemed to come alive when the stakes got higher.
Martinez with a base hit to right, and the Yankees have tied it. Soriano into deep left field. At the wall, Yankees on top, 2-1.
When Soriano lifted the ball over the fence in left center, the once electrifying crowd grew somber. For only the 7th inning out of 66, the Diamondbacks trailed, and were only 2 more away from elimination. They needed a spark.
Last night's starter, Randy Johnson, in the game for the Diamondbacks. And listen to the crowd now.
When the big unit entered the game, the mood around the ballpark shifted. Sure, they were 6 outs away from losing, but with him on the mound, they knew he would be able to keep them within a run. Even so, a comeback wouldn't be easy. The Yankees also had a superstar waiting to be unleashed in Mariano Rivera, the best closer in baseball. In fact, he hadn't blown a postseason save since before the Diamondbacks were even a franchise. With him now in the game, not many believed the home side stood a chance. The players probably felt it too, but understood that they needed to be naive to have any shot of winning.
We're looking at each other going, we're going to win this game. Somehow, some way, we're going to find a way to win this game.
Spencer right into center field, a good start for Arizona. Grace with his 3rd hit.
The right-hander has the best chance.
The bunt by Miller. Throw to second. Into center field. 2 on, 1 out. And Womack into right field, a hit. Here comes Cummings. It's tied. Going to 3rd is Bell. Tony Womack delivers. It's 2-2.
As Luis Gonzalez stepped up to the plate, he felt the energy of the 50,000 in attendance, the millions watching at home, and the weight of a city on his shoulders. But despite this, he remained as cool as ever.
Floater, center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
In just their 4th season up against the greatest franchise in sports and down to their final 3 outs, the Diamondbacks against all odds were able to win the World Series. In doing so, they ended the Yankees' bid for a 4th straight World Series title, effectively ending one of the greatest dynasties in MLB history. This championship also carried immense significance for the entire state of Arizona, because it not only put them on the baseball map, but also brought a huge sense of pride to a relatively young sports market. On the contrary, in the wake of the tragic events that took place in New York just a couple months earlier, the Yankees had become much more than a baseball team. Their pursuit of the World Series provided a sense of normalcy and unity during a time of uncertainty. Games at Yankee Stadium became communal gatherings where fans could come together, honor those lost, and feel a renewed spirit of strength. For these reasons, it's safe to say that the 2001 World Series was one of the most memorable in baseball history. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to learn about Mookie Betts' incredible 2018 season, when he broke out as the best player in baseball, won numerous accolades, and led the Boston Red Sox to their most successful season in franchise history, then click the video on your screen now.